Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and we're doing a special Arrow review. If you guys want to leave comments in the comments below, maybe we'll answer some questions. We'll see how long this ends up going. So we were talking about tonight's Arrow episode. It's episode 11, Midnight City, and I'm going to introduce everybody. So Mimi, introduce yourself.
Hi there. I pop up every once in a while. I have Morgan17, and this counts for my Arrow video because I'm at Cat's house.
Because, like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
What Arrow experience? You watched a lot of Arrow.
Way too much Arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, is there too much Arrow though?
There's never too much Arrow. Move that down a little.
Never too much Arrow.
Now it's too much down. Sorry guys,
Only
first
too much
time
video.
doing this.
So yeah, I usually don't do this live. I usually, as you guys know, usually do my review. It's usually a short one. All right, so introducing Phil.
I'm Phil. I do not have a YouTube channel. I watch a lot of Arrow though.
Big Thea fan.
Big Thea fan.
Big Thea
Go
fan.
Thea.
Julius.
I'm Julius and I'm new.
There you go. So that's all the introductions, and we're going to start talking about this episode. I'll be moderating this panel here on my channel, wearing my Green Arrow shirt. I was talking before that you guys weren't sporting any hero anything.
If I owned a Green Arrow shirt, I
I'm
would
in
have
a
worn it.
red hood. That can count for something.
Harley Quinn.
That too.
There you go. Harley Quinn was not in this episode. All right, so just talking about what this episode was about. It's very much a Laurel-centric episode. Less Oliver, still Oliver's here. So yeah, let's just jump into initial thoughts. Let's talk about Oliver first, because he's not really in the episode that much, which I'm glad. Hong Kong still a little annoyed at, but we have some predictions of what happened to Katana and her husband's son. So yeah, Oliver scenes pretty much weren't needed, but it's definitely the tension of League of Assassins. So let's go with Julius first. What do you think about the whole Oliver situation and the Hong Kong situation?
For starters, I'm kind of wondering what happened to Katana's son.
Mm-hmm.
He probably died.
I think that's what we're all thinking. We're all thinking that he probably died. And our theories, me and Phil's theory as a comic book reader, we're thinking maybe Katana's going a little psychotic, maybe with the sword, with the son instead.
In comics, Katana believes that her husband's soul is trapped in her sword, the Soul Eater. So it seems like a reasonable guess that maybe her son died and she thinks the same of that.
Exactly.
Although a little hole in that theory is that she didn't really seem crazy in this episode.
Yet. We didn't get to see enough.
Maybe.
So Julius, any other theories or stuff about the Hong Kong situation?
I say I'll pass it over to Phil.
All right, Phil, thoughts?
I know a big comment on last week's episode was that Oliver's inclusion was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I think that trend really continued here. Like, this was a good chance to explore the supporting characters, and really all of the Oliver scenes just took away from other things that we could explore, like Felicity's sudden change from anti-vigilantism to pro-vigilantism, and
In one episode.
which I'm glad. I don't want them to harsh on that for too long,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, it felt very sudden to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think last week I even respected Oliver's inclusion a little more, because the flashbacks at least went with Maceo's saving him, but here it just felt random and thrown in.
Yeah, this felt more random, but I like that he was in this episode a bit less. Which, I mean, I love Oliver, but we need time for those secondary characters to shine. I feel like we got that a little bit more here, which is a good thing. But Hong Kong still, I've been saying this since the first episode of season 3. I just don't feel like it's necessary, and they're just not interesting enough. But they're trying to bring like very known names like China White, and I just don't think. You even said China White just hasn't been used correctly. I don't think.
Yeah, she appears in the most random way too.
Yeah, I still don't care about the vial. It's very weird. So let's move on to Mimi. What's your thoughts on Oliver with this episode?
I'm annoyed. I'm still annoyed that he's back. You said how he was supposed to be in the next 3 episodes, and what do we still have? We have him in every fucking flashback that we don't need. I'm sorry, I'm the one that curses. We don't need Oliver right now. We could have continued with Felicity and Thea and every other minor character, secondary characters, getting their fucking episode filler stuff going on, and instead we have more Oliver in Hong Kong, and the wig is really bad.
Yes.
And it makes it hard to even want to focus on it because the wig is so bad.
Just gotta give him a beanie every episode.
Yeah.
Do the beanie, do the beanie.
It's been working, but now it's like there's a lot of light. You saw the wig a bit too much in this episode. So that's our thoughts on Oliver. So I'm trying to go into each story arc.
Before we even move past Oliver, what about his revival?
Oh
They-
yeah,
They didn't really give us much information here, which a lot of people were unhappy about last episode.
that's really true. I didn't even think about that. I agree that it's like, oh well, we just kind of revived him, but he was dead. He went down a mountain. Like, how the hell did he revive without this Lazarus pit?
Here we got some herbal explanation, but not really much else.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna do more on that later, or if that's all we're getting.
I agree with
I
that.
hope it's not a cop out like that. It's like herbal tea. What?
It's like, oh, it tastes like penicillin. Okay. Bill just made a really good mention of that. I didn't even think about it. Hopefully, they're probably not though, because they're moving out of this situation in wherever
Next
they are,
episode.
these mountains, and then he's going to Starling City by the next episode. So,
The only thing I can think of is they're saving the Lazarus Pit for something else, because
Sarah,
we've already gotten.
Sarah, Tommy,
Moira.
Mora, yeah, she's also there.
The actual dad.
Isabel.
Yeah, Isabel. We got. Well, Isabel might be the little less because like, I was like, you could have used it on Tommy. So let's move on to again a little less known, not known character, a lesser person in this episode, which was Ray, which we both talked about. I haven't mentioned this in a review, but I feel like it's really hard that they use Ray and Roy. They should say that he's Palmer instead, because talking is really hard. It's like, oh, Ray, I mean Roy, I mean Ray. So I think that's something they should have fixed, but it's too late. But let's talk about Ray. Ray wants to be a superhero. He might be. That's what's going on with him.
I'm okay with that.
What's your opinion?
I like that it's cute. I mean, it's Superman, but not really being Superman. He's trying.
Adam.
I know, but it's Superman. It's Adam, but whatever. When they were talking about Ray being in the TV show, and they were saying how he was the opposite of what Oliver could be, how he could be the Adam and be businessy. I like that aspect. And you're showing the other way Oliver could have gone, so it's kind of cute to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a slow burn. I think we're going to see more of Ray in season 4. I know Phil was saying to me that he thinks he's not going to survive. This is the last
Not
you know.
survive. I just think he won't be an Arrow.
in Arrow. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's a character they're kind of building, and that's why he's there. Like, he's not going to be big in this season.
They could build and then do the spin-off for him and Fire.
I don't even know if I want to see
Yeah.
a spin-off yet,
Exactly.
but we'll have
Never
to
know.
see.
Here's
We'll
something.
see. You never know. You never know. They might make a good spin-off. I think Brandon Routh is a good actor. So yeah, Mimi, more thoughts on that, or that for Ray? Phil, more thoughts on Ray?
I think it's good that we got some comedic scenes with Ray this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the helicopter bit was probably the funniest thing we've gotten in the past
Finally,
episodes.
some laughs. Yeah,
Yeah, I
finally
think
some laughs.
When Ray first came in, he was the source of a lot of comedy, and then in the past few episodes, we sort of lost that.
Which
So-
was great though with last episode.
Oh,
I thought
don't
he
get me
was
wrong.
Great.
It's good to see another side, but like I like that we're getting the more lighthearted hero from him, because Arrow is very broody, so it's nice to get that little diversion.
I agree. Julius, thoughts on Ray Palmer? Not really.
Not really.
Okay. There wasn't too much right here. We're gonna save Thea for last, though. Just saying, I always do. We always
Yeah.
save Thea for last. So let's talk about Felicity. We were saying some negatives about Felicity here, just because it seemed like it was very quick the way she wanted to be a hero again. But at the same time, I guess that one scene made her realize, like, oh well, maybe I should be a hero. Ray did this without even knowing anything about being a hero. He saved the day with bricks. I mean, I should be. I agree there should have been more motivation, but I guess there wasn't enough time because of stupid Hong Kong scenes. Literally. But I really like Felicity here, mostly because of her and Laurel. I
They're so
love
cute.
their scenes together. They were so good. So I'm going to go with Phil first. Did you agree with the whole Felicity thing with Laurel? Was that your favorite part? Or what about Felicity you liked here?
Well, like I said before, I think that we kind of skipped over the part where she went from wanting nothing to do with this whole heroism stuff to going back to it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm glad she went back, because it seems more in line with her character than just quitting. But I feel like if we hadn't had so many Oliver Hong Kong scenes, we might have gotten more of a build-up to it, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm glad that we're done with the whole, not grieving per se, but her being anti-hero, because she has that role in the Arrow Cave that I was missing for most of last episode. She wasn't laughing. She wasn't motivating everyone. Like, there wasn't the heart of the Arrow Cave. And like you were saying, her relationship with Laurel wasn't something I was expecting to like, because
Yeah.
I liked her relationship.
You thought it'd be forced.
I did. And I liked her relationship a lot with Sarah last season, but I'm glad this is different. Like, here, last season, it was more Sarah motivating Felicity and calling her cute and all that stuff. This so far, we've gotten Felicity motivating Laurel, and they've gone from not being phone call friends to this, which
Yeah.
is great.
I really like it. And I think as the season goes on and as Laurel becomes more of the Black Canary, we're going to see more of that friendship. And again, Felicity just interact with different people, which we know she's going to interact with Thea soon. So Mimi, thoughts on
It's kind of
Felicity?
random feeling. It was more of a Felicity and Oliver scene in the beginning when he had the dream
Right,
sequence.
yeah.
And one of you said that wouldn't have
Yeah,
made
I
more
thought it
sense.
was- yeah.
Thea having the dream instead of Oliver, that just still made it hurt more, just because like Oliver's dreaming of Felicity and his death,
Mhm.
and that just made me think of
That
it.
felt really weird to
It
me.
felt really
Yeah.
weird, but it still
Weird
made me
opening.
random feels.
It's kind of forgettable until you
Yeah,
mentioned
so
that.
my brain,
yeah.
last one, my brain was like, oh god. In the middle of like Phil talking, my brain was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I liked Felicity Moon's episode. I like her spacey morning, and I like how she kept on going, wait, Sarah's bet? Like, why hasn't Lance realized? Why hasn't
Yeah.
Captain? Like,
No, that's great.
everyone-
Yeah. She's kind of this outsider that I think realizes a lot of things that other people don't. And I think Felicity, again, was it too quick that she did it? Yes, but we're at the point that I think she needs to be at. Maybe they didn't go totally correct with it, but there's a lot of interesting scenes with this episode, I think, with Ray and with Laurel. So Julius, what's your thoughts on Felicity with this episode?
I got nothing. Sorry.
Nothing, same things that we were talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah, everything was safe.
So another video, I just heard that. Yeah, we'll definitely check comments because I'm sure we're gonna discuss a lot about this. And we definitely, I didn't share it on Twitter or anything, so I'm sure we're gonna watch. A lot of people will watch this after live. But this is just a way to put the video up. So Diggle, there's not much to talk about. So I'm gonna say,
cool moments.
yeah, he had some cool moments.
They
But
got the stop being a hero, Laurel, you're an idiot, and a cute drinking moment with Roy.
I think
And flying the helicopter.
flying the helicopter was good. I think he had more scenes than last episode, I would say, which was fine. You know, I mean, well, Diggle, they hardly used him ever. Let's turn to Roy. Roy here I thought was really well done. You know, I think he's more trained than Laurel, and I liked how he kind of brought in Laurel. It's like, all right, you know, let's give this a try. And I really think Roy has progressed a lot with these two episodes here. Julius, any thoughts on Roy this
Yeah.
episode?
I especially like how he stuck up for not Felicity, for Thea later on, like
Yeah.
confronted Merlin. That was like an amazing scene.
Yeah, finally someone does. And again, we will talk Thea stuff towards the probably the next character we'll talk about is Thea Merlin. So Mimi, thoughts on Roy?
I like the hair. Just as a
We all love Colton Haynes' hair.
Just as a general comment, I'm enjoying him getting more of a spine. I mean, he's always had a spine, but now he's blatantly like telling Merlin to kind of go fuck himself, kind of like don't drag Thea into your messes.
He's a good moral compass, I think, for the team.
Which I like
Good
that
heart.
it's different because you wouldn't expect that when you first got him.
Mhm.
So I like that we see the character growth. And I just always love Colton Haynes. Kind of just fun to watch him.
Glad
as
he
an
has a good
actor.
character finally. 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
love
fine.
Jackson in Team.
Yeah, like I love the hate Jackson.
Mhm.
And like they want to do things for Jackson, but whatever, it's another story for another fucking vlog.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I'm also enjoying him fighting with Laurel, and I'm excited to see the team assemble more again
Mhm.
to see how they all fight when she gets really good, because you know it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah,
Just
and
not
we'll
this
talk
season.
Canary Cry things. I don't even think we've talked about Laurel yet either, so we have to
No.
talk about Laurel.
Save her for last.
Yeah, we'll save her for last. We'll give Thea the next and then Laurel. So Phil, thoughts on Roy?
I'll start off a little negative.
Okay.
Like Felicity, I felt like his turnaround was a bit sudden because at first he was bashing Laurel for
Mhm.
taking up
I could
Canary
see that.
Mantle,
Mhm.
which I completely understand. It makes sense for the character. But then he sort of jumped to supporting her after one outing with her where she kind of got her ass kicked. So, again, I think it makes sense for the character to support her, but I don't think we got the time to see that.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to if we had gotten less Oliver and more focus on them, like, it would have made more sense and it's been easier to swallow.
Yeah.
That being said, I did like seeing him with Laurel in action later on after he accepted her.
It's a good
looked,
team.
it looked right seeing like the two of them in costume together. And I also really enjoyed his scene with Diggle in the cave or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. The foundry.
Whatever it's called now.
I always call it the Arrow Cave.
Me
but
too.
that's
I
probably
call it the
not
Arrow Cave. I know it's the Foundry, but I don't. The Arrow Cave
HQ.
quiver, you know,
Flavor.
whatever it is. But we all give it different names. There's a fern on the table. That's all we know. But let's move on to Thea. Thea's a lot of us here like Thea. She's my favorite character. Phil's favorite character. So Thea here, I think, was a lot smarter, which I'm happy. The freaking douchebag DJ was in this episode, and that's what I'm calling him from now on. I understand why he's there. He's pretty much a spy for Ra's al Ghul, and that's fine. At least he's a little bit more interesting, but I don't know. I still don't.
He's interesting now.
Interesting. He has
Worthwhile.
purpose. He has purpose. I'll give him that. But I really like Thea here because she's holding her ground, saying, "Hey, I wanted to fight. This is the thing. It's not. It's really. It was so repetitive. It's like I hate being lied to. I hate being lied to. Now you're Arrow. I hate being lied to. I hate being lied to. But yeah, I like that she really wanted the truth here. Roy's ready to give the truth to her, and I think hopefully by next episode she learns a bit more, especially with Ra's al Ghul coming in. Hopefully get to see some action with Thea, but this was a big improvement for her. Was it slow? Yes, but hopefully we get, by next episode, centered Thea episode again. So I'm going to Phil first. What do you think about the Thea stuff here?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you were saying. I feel like Thea has kind of been in the back for most of the season just because of the Canary murder and not wanting to put her too up front.
Yeah.
They don't want the audience to think too much about
Obvious.
her.
Yeah.
But now she's still kind of in the back, but we're getting more. I like that we've gotten back to this whole her being lied to all the time theme, because that was such a huge part of the previous season.
Yeah. Even though some people get annoyed, it just makes a lot of sense of her motives. And I think you do have to remind that, but now she's stronger about it. It's not like, stop lying. She's very strong about, I want the truth. I just want to fight back, and I don't care who this guy is. Just like, you're my father. We're a team. I mean, she doesn't understand, obviously, the Oliver death. Maybe she did. She'll have a different view about this, but it also just shows that she doesn't have enough information. But it's very interesting. I like it.
I think that throughout the show, Thea's probably progressed the most from when we first
I
saw
agree.
her.
I totally agree.
And I think that, in a way, she's always been strong. She's always been brash, that's for sure. And now she's sort of using those bitch fits that she would have all the time in season 1. She's using it in a way that's making her compelling. Like, she had a few very good lines about not being told the truth this episode.
But it didn't feel repetitive. It was
No.
different.
I felt like I was looking at a stronger version of Thea as opposed to the weaker version I feel like we've seen the past few episodes even.
Yeah.
Especially when she was with DJ Douchebag. Is that what we're calling him?
That is his official name right now. We're giving him that. No, I totally agree. I think she's become so much stronger, and hopefully she utilizes that. And honestly, I think she's stronger than Laurel. I mean, I think that's obvious, though. She's stronger than Laurel. Julius, thoughts on Thea?
I like your skepticism, especially with Merlin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's always been someone to call people out on their shit. Like in the last episode, one of my favorite moments was when she said to Arsenal, like, it's you in the Red Hood I've been seeing, right? Like, she's always been one to figure things out and not, like...
She's kind of like a detective in a way, but I feel like she wasn't able to utilize that because the whole Oliver thing, they don't want him, that kind of annoys me. But
last season, when she would always, like, go out with Roy and Sin and, like, not just play blind or, like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this.
yeah, I feel she does the different, like, she does something different than I think the trope character would do. It's like, stay away from me. You shouldn't do that. She's like, no, let me help. I want to be a part of this. Like, she tries to be a part of all these things, but people are pushing her away. And that's why she's with Malcolm right now, because he's the only one that actually cared for Thea. And I think that's the importance here. But now Roy's starting to care. And I think either Roy or Felicity, honestly, is going to be the person that tells.
Hopefully, they will get something, like we've been promised.
She tends to put her chest on people who pretty much tell her anything. Like
Which is fine. Yeah, and I think that's just me. Hopefully Oliver will learn that when he comes back. But we'll see. Mimi, thoughts on Thea?
I want her apartment.
That's one thought.
The one thought is I want her
What,
apartment.
Wells' apartment?
That's
I want them like combined somehow, but they both have really nice fireplaces.
Yeah.
So
You gotta thank Fireplace in the show. I enjoyed her little victory with Malcolm. I want her to know more, but she's dealing with Malcolm, so of course he's going to outlie and outwit her.
for now,
Yeah. But like I'm enjoying it, but I feel bad because she's getting the truth, but she's not really getting all the truth because it's Malcolm and he's not going to tell her everything. Like Phil said, her progression has been amazing throughout all of the.
I feel like people don't give enough credit though.
Yeah, I like her a lot more than I did when she started. I was rewatching some of season 1, and I was like, oh.
That's the best way to see it.
Yeah.
You're watching.
Rewatching season 1, I remembering all of her awkward chemistry with Oliver and Tommy. And you're
Yeah,
like,
and Tommy,
wait,
that's real awkward chemistry.
chemistry.
But I think, just the fandom in general, like, I just don't feel, she's always, even the show in general, just puts her into the background. And I think she's a character that I think more people should notice, or just, the writer should notice a bit more, because she's a really strong character. And hopefully we get her utilized. Any other thoughts, Thea? So let's go to Laurel. Laurel was this big character this episode, and this is going to be like the trilogy of Laurel. I think this episode, next episode, and the Canaries, obviously. I like Laurel here. Was she the strongest? No. Laughing in the background once you guys talk to go close the door. Was she the strong in this episode? No. But I like that you do see a lot of Dinah in this episode. I feel even her calling herself Dinah Laurel Lance finally, and I'm sure a lot of you Black Canary fans are gonna be happy about that. And I thought the voice, how she tricked Brick, was very Dinah in a way, and just using her voice for something. Canary Cry. Let's hope soon we'll get the Canary Cry. But yeah, this is the first hero in Arrow I feel like we're actually going to see grow as a vigilante. And we'll see. I do think it was too quick that they accepted her in a way, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Laurel. And I thought the most touching moments was with Laurel and her father, her pretending to be her sister. And now really noticing what what Kate Cassidy's been saying a lot in interviews is her noticing I'm not doing this for my sister now. It's kind of honoring my sister, but this is for myself. And that Felicity and Laurel connection now that we have because of that. So overall, was this the best Laurel episode? Maybe in a way. Was it the best executed? I don't know, but I think I'm excited to see this as a whole. And I think if I binge all these episodes of season 3, you're going to see her grow and see a really nice Laurel arc. And I think more people need to give her props. Is she the best character on the show? No. I think Thea is a stronger character, but I'm really interested to see where she goes. Let's start with Julius first. What do you think about Laurel?
Well, this episode, it seemed like one of her better methods of coping. Like, seriously, you go from, well, pretty much drinking yourself to death.
Throwing wine bottles at your sister.
No one's going to let her live that down.
Yeah, definitely
she's
not.
kicking ass, and yeah, I like it. I especially like the fact that, what happened? I'll get back to you on that. I'm like drawing a blank.
Understandable. Phil, thoughts on Laurel?
Like I was saying earlier while we were watching, I think that the great thing about seeing Laurel here is that when we got Sarah, she was already Black Canary, essentially. We'd kind of seen her after her whole big transformation. And with Laurel, we kind of get to watch her go through it, which is not better, per se, because Sarah was a great character in herself, but it has more potential. I feel like we could see Laurel grow from this character who everybody hated into a character that we can respect. And I never thought I would say this in season 2, but I was rooting for her here. I like that we saw the missteps, and I think that the producers really put enough missteps in for her where it seemed believable, but not so many that she seemed completely incompetent.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I think this was definitely more of a believable vigilante in a way. Her falling when she goes on the car, I mean, it's believable, but
when she hit people.
But then also having those successes of pulling her heel up and stabbing
Mhm.
someone. So it's like there's positives and there are negatives, which is great of her kind of learning of what it means to be a Black Canary, or the Black Canary. And I'll ask about the Canary Cry after Mimi's opinion on Laurel.
Sorry, there's a pig on TV and I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, this is a Spanish soap opera that's on for some reason. Who knows why?
Sorry, I thoroughly enjoyed Laurel this episode and all of her little missteps and major kind of fuck ups. I liked when the Stonewall Brick shot the guy in the van, and she looked so devastated, and both her and Roy had that moment of holy fuck, we got someone killed.
that was a good
And that was a really good moment for them, both as characters, and I liked how that was executed. I enjoyed that Laurel did the whole Sarah voice
Yeah.
thing,
That was very
pretending to do it for Quentin. Hurt a lot. That was very painful. It was very cute. I liked how it was done. It was something very Laurel-esque. I see her do. Obviously, she did it, so it's easier to do.
No, but
it
it's
seems
very much in the character.
It seems
yeah.
very in character. She doesn't want the dad to know she's dead.
Some people are
so-
disappointed with,
Which I'm
and
still
I am
annoyed.
too.
I'm still
but-
annoyed by
At
it,
least
but
that
I
was
get it.
paying off.
Yeah.
I totally get it. It was done well. I like that she would just beat people senseless with the staff. That was kind of fun. It was something she would do because she doesn't know what she's doing yet. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna beat the crap out of you until you stop moving. It's like, yeah, I'd do that too if I had a freaking staff. And I also liked the heel scene, and I really did like that Mayor Brick
Yeah, but
scene. I just thought that was really good opening. You guys already saw it through the
Yeah, the
previews,
clip.
but I didn't, and I don't think you did. Did you either?
No.
No, and Julie and I didn't see the first 11 minutes. Basically, Phil and Kat did somehow.
besides that, Thea, well, I
So-
personally also, I look spoilers all the time, just like kind of see what's going on. But
They saw a lot of it. But
Yeah.
for us, I thought that was really cool, just because I liked that opening scene for them. So we got to see Ray trying. We got to see Felicity kind of just go shit, and we got to see Laurel trying to make up for her earlier fuck up, sort of, and her lawyer scene when she used Dinah Laurelland, like all of that was very nice.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I'm very excited to see how she continues to progress with the other episodes, and I really like what Phil's saying, how we didn't get to see Sarah become the Black Canary. We just got to come in and see her be a badass already. It's like, you go be a badass.
Which is great.
Which is great. It worked. We needed that contrast, and we needed to see. I like that we're seeing Laurel get her hero-ness going on, and it's interesting. It's different than all the other characters, but it has to be. You can't keep on repeating the exact same thing. And we get the same thing with Barry too. He's still kind of stumbling in the Flash, but it's different because you have no superpowers, no nothing. All she has is that canary call.
Well, she doesn't even have that.
She doesn't have that.
Yeah.
She has that thing she kind of did, sort of, and the you can't escape this justice kind of line last week.
Yeah, she doesn't have anything pretty much.
And I like
Law degree.
Yeah, she has a law degree.
law degree and those boxing classes
And some nice clothes.
and
Where's
really nice clothes.
He actually got casted on another show. So
Oh.
that's where Wildcat is.
That
No
explains
mention.
it.
Which really sucks. But hopefully, honestly, I wouldn't mind if they recast him Wildcat because I think he's an important enough character.
Make him older.
Yeah, make him older. Go Wildcat's father and Wildcat. I don't know.
Grandpa.
Figure it out.
Older
grandpa.
brother.
Older brother, something to say that I don't know. They need to bring Wildcat in again somehow. Even if they can't bring the actor. So Canary Cry, since I have you guys here, do you think we're gonna see the Canary Cry? For me, I hope we see it. I think if we get another Arrow Flash crossover, that's when we're gonna see Laurel get a Canary Cry.
We kind of do. And apparently episode 8, so what I sent you guys last night, there's an episode 18 of the Flash.
But Laurel's gonna be in
She's
it.
not. It's so far just said Felicity and Ray.
Alright.
But maybe they could give something like, hey, we saw Laurel freaking fail in the news. Here, this might help her, or something like that.
Well, the thing is, in the comics, she's a metahuman, so her Canary Cry is a part of her.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting the way they do it. Like she tells a story of like when she was in 3rd grade, she didn't want to speak at all because of the Canary Cry. So
I want to read that.
it's something that she doesn't use a lot because it's so vicious in a way. So it'd be a really interesting character development for Laurel slash Dinah because they actually used Dinah's name here. So yeah, I would really like to see the Canary Cry, and I think they will do it. They finally see that you can have a grounded show with superpowers with the Flash, kind of. So hopefully we'll see it, and I think it's very important for Laurel to have it. But I'm going to pass it along to Phil because he said something important and say that maybe once she's more trained to have it.
I don't think a lot of people seem to want her to get the Cry now as an edge for her fighting, which is subpar at the moment. But I don't know. I feel that's a bit of a cop-out. The Canary Cry seems, in this show at least, to be something she has to earn rather than something she gets as an edge. So, I don't know. I expect if we're getting the Cry, it won't be until maybe even the season finale or even later. I do think that I want it to be distanced from the Flash. I think the particle accelerator and the meteor or whatever it was from Smallville is kind of a cop-out. I think it's hard, but there are other ways to integrate superpowers. And if Laurel is going to develop the Canary Cry, I want to see them do something more creative.
Metahumans. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I understand because the Arrow universe didn't have metahumans, but metahumans exist, and it's just part of them. So
Brick.
why? Yeah,
Yeah.
Brick in a way.
We don't have any explanation for him now. I don't know if they're going to try to link that to the particle accelerator.
Which
or
I don't think they
Miracle.
should. I think they should just say, hey, he was born with it. Metahuman. Why can't you?
It's weird that they haven't been commenting on it.
Yeah.
All we got last episode was an offhanded comment from Roy. But,
It's like, oh, how did that happen? How do arrows affect him and not bullets?
So I do think that's something that should be commented on a little bit, not necessarily explored in detail beyond like, oh, maybe he was just born with this or it just happened one day. But something people should comment on. It is a strange thing for this universe they've set up, and it could even be a gateway to the Canary Cry someday.
I think by the end of the show we'll get the Canary Cry. I just don't know when it's going to happen, and hopefully it does happen soon. But I
Did
agree.
they call her Black Canary in this episode?
They did, I think. I think they did call her Black Canary, I'm pretty sure.
I know we got Canary, but I'm not sure about the Black. Either way,
Mhm.
if they did, good. If they didn't, hopefully next episode, and hopefully that'll lead to
Maybe she needs to earn it. Maybe she needs to earn that
This is
title
true.
too. Julius, do you have any thoughts on the Canary Cry, or not really?
I wonder if they're gonna bring back the voice box, like
Mhm.
the thing that simulates.
I think they will. I think because I think she used the last
Last
episode.
episode,
Yeah,
yeah.
she did use the last episode. I mean, that's just a callback to the comics, but hopefully they utilize it more as a power. No, we know that they can do on the Flash with the kind of those visual effects. So I mean, it's the same visual effects as the Pied Piper. So why not? Why not use it for Arrow? I understand they probably use more stunts for their money, and Flash they use more money for their CGI, but we'll see. So to kind of wrap it up, I do want to say if you guys have any questions for us, I will try to, because I see we're getting some more build up for viewers. If you guys have any questions for us about the episode, in the comments I'll check before we go off. But I want to give final verdicts here. So good and bad. Good of the episode, I think this is a really character-driven episode for supporting characters, but mostly Laurel. And I think she's a character that's been so much pushed to the side. I'm glad she got a really good centric episode, supposedly centric 3 episodes, a centric trilogy. And I'm really excited to see where her character goes. And then Thea, glad that we got to see more of her. So yeah, just great character episode. So that's my positives here. Mimi, what do you think positive-wise?
I liked the diverse fight scenes they had in this week. It wasn't just the badass archery. We got to see a little bit more hand-to-hand
Sword
combat.
fighting.
We got to see the sword fighting. And really craptastic bar scene with the bar, with Oliver sliding on the bar and the entire freaking group of people not moving or running away, just all hunting into corners. That was very choreographed in a really funny way. It's like, you could have ran. You could have made it difficult. Nope, everyone in corners. Everyone in the corners. Part of the Red Sea of crowded clubbers.
That didn't, extra-wise, that didn't work out. But
Yeah, they even done that scene-wise. It was so cool. Just as a, no, you guys didn't.
Yeah, so that's positive and negative. Any other positives?
Laurel, I really liked it. I really liked Laurel and Thea and Felicity.
So girl power episode.
power
Better
episode.
Birds of Prey episode than
God,
Birds of
yes.
Prey.
I
Well,
like that one.
yeah, they should have used a different name, in my opinion. Let's go to Phil. What's positives?
Last episode was really about the characters feeling Oliver's absence, and I feel like this episode's more about the characters surviving without him. And this is the more of the episode that you want to watch, that you want to root for the characters.
I agree.
And I think they succeeded. I do think we could have done without Oliver for the most part, and given more light to the other characters and why they made such sudden changes. But aside from that, I think that this episode really succeeded. I think something that we didn't really comment on is Katie Lotz's voice, hearing Sarah again. Like, while watching, I actually realized how long it's been since we did see her. It's been 12 episodes now, and I didn't realize it until now, but like that absence really sort of faded for me. So hearing her again was a bit of a punch with Laurel, and I think it really worked.
Especially with Katie Cassidy's performance. I don't care what people say. She did a great job of
I
that. Great job.
And it's-
MVP. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that was probably the best scene, emotionally, for this episode.
And it's good that we're finally getting a payoff on Lance not knowing the truth about Sarah, because that's been something questionable in the previous episodes, but now we're getting some emotion-driven scenes about it. So
I totally
good for
agree.
them.
Julius, positives.
Yeah, to build up what you said, I especially like the fact that it gave a backbone to each of the what'd you say, the background characters?
Yeah, the secondary characters.
Yeah, especially Thea, Felicity, and Laurel. Felicity finally got out of the morning, backbone there. Thea's finally done taking the shit, backbone there.
The shit of life.
And Laurel, she's, coping really well.
There you
And
go.
kicking ass.
Yeah, I think we had more of a Roy Diggle episode last episode. Now we're getting more of the female episode. Hopefully Thea will get a total centric episode. Malcolm is next week, so let's see. Let's go.
like that in the preview, though. It's kind of cool.
It's true. Sometimes it's misleading. It definitely looks. We'll talk about next episode, I guess, after the verdict. We'll definitely talk about thoughts of where it's going to go. All right. So negatives of the episode. I agree. I think some characters progressed in a way that felt a bit too quick. Oliver's presence, I think, is kind of a negative. Again, I think these episodes would be a lot stronger if we didn't have those scenes. I don't think they're kind of necessary. I understand you're trying to say League of Assassins are still here, but I don't think we need that. I think they're a bigger enough threat with their name. Not just because it's an interesting name, but just because it's a powerful name. So I think that's a negative. Honestly, it's Oliver. And, I would like to see more Thea, but I like there's progression. Again, Laurel's, a little sloppy in the writing with Laurel, but I think they did a really good job here. But overall, I thought this was a much improved episode from last week. This definitely wasn't a disappointment. Maybe there was a lot of plot progression, but a lot of character progression, which I won't say we needed, but definitely it's a delight to see. Julius, negatives.
I just really think they could have done without Hong Kong and the League of Assassins. like took away from the actual characters that were going on in Starling.
Totally agree. Mimi.
I'm agreeing with Julia there. We already know the League of Assassins is coming. You don't need to throw it in our faces anymore. It's like, oh my god, they're here, no way. And now we already had Oliver killed by Ra's al Ghul. Oh my god, and who's he? He's the lead. He's the lead of the League of Assassins. Holy crap! No, we get it. League of Assassins is here.
Except Thea doesn't know.
Except Thea.
Yeah.
But wow.
It's like,
okay.
I'll beat that guy up.
Shocking. Thea doesn't already know. Shocking. Thea doesn't know.
Who's Ra's al Ghul? I bet I could beat him up
Yeah,
with my
sure,
hammer pants.
Also, DJ asshole.
Yeah, douchebag DJ
Douchebag
asshole.
DJ asshole.
Yeah.
Fucker. He doesn't need to be in
He's a
this
bit
fucking-
better than his premiere episode, but he
Oh,
still
better,
does
but
not.
we didn't
Yeah.
do that. No.
Yeah,
I
and I'm
mean-
not saying Austin Butler's a bad actor because I've seen him in previous stuff. Like, he's not bad. It's just the character
No,
does not fit like anywhere.
We're fine.
We don't need a
We're
DJ.
fine without fucking DJ Dickwad and without the League of Assassins Hong Kong shit. We already know that's there.
Yeah, I think flashbacks in general pulls this show back a
Stop
lot.
with your flashbacks.
Yeah, or at least
Stop
so
it.
so consistent the flashbacks.
Stop. One episode's good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. Bill, negatives as I look at
pretty much what's being said. Flashbacks and Oliver scenes could have been much less included. I do think it would have been nice if we're going to include the League of Assassins to give us the people we want to see, give us Ra's al Ghul or give us Nyssa, see what they're doing.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I really want to like China White. I like Kelly Wu, and I think China White has an interesting air about her. But her appearances since the beginning of the series have been completely all over the place, and I never really know what she's doing. So if they were going to use her as such a big villain in the flashbacks, I really wish they would have made her more relevant in the present. That's not necessarily a critique on this episode, but just like the season as a whole.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't have much other criticism for this episode. I think this is one of the best we've gotten this season.
Yeah, this was a very positive episode. So we talked about our positive and negatives. We're going to give our verdict, and then we're going to talk about what we think is going to happen in upcoming episodes, and then we're going to close it. I'll see if there's any questions. But I know this is a bit longer review, but I thought, we have all these different opinions here. We definitely have a nice little chat about this episode. And also Google Plus, why not utilize it if I have to use it? Verdict. For me, like Bill said, I think this is definitely one of the better episodes of this season. I still think Court of Maltese and Secret Origins, Felicity Smoke are my favorites, but this is definitely up there, in my opinion. I think this was much better than last episode, and I'm totally looking forward to this trilogy overall. So I'm going to give this episode a solid 4 stars, maybe 4.25, but I'll go 4.25. I'm going to give it that. That's the best way to put it. Okay, let's go to Julius. What's your verdict?
I'm in complete agreement. Like, it wasn't the best per se, like you said before,
Mm.
but a lot happened. Though it wasn't not very plot heavy. The character development was really good.
Yeah, so you have a star rating you want to give out of 5 or
4.5.
4.5? Okay, so let's go to Phil. What's your verdict?
Yeah, I think 4.5 is fair. I think that one thing about this episode relative to the rest of Arrow is that every single bit of the episode, except for Hong Kong, really fit well with me.
Mhm.
Corto Maltese, I feel like the whole Manhunter plot wasn't great, and Origin of Felicity Smoke, I wasn't really feeling her flashbacks. So it's nice to know that the part of this episode I didn't like, the Hong Kong and Oliver, wasn't there too much, but because it was there, I'm going to take off the 0.5.
So you're going to give it
4.5.
4.5.
I think it could have made a 5 if it weren't for that.
Understandable. Mimi?
We're gonna have to go with the 4.5 thing overall. There's the Hong Kong scenes are the main reasons I think with everyone why we didn't
Yeah.
give it a 5. Just don't need the flashbacks and the crappy wig, and we don't need Hong Kong. I'm grateful they're off the island. I really am. The island was really
We
tiresome.
don't need it at all.
But we don't need the flashbacks, not Oliver flashbacks anymore. And you don't need to just do a flashback themed episode like with just Felicity, even though that was very nice. You could just do smaller flashbacks or just slowly not use them.
Yeah, I
Do
feel
what
like
the
they're
Flash is doing. They don't
forced.
really use the flashbacks. And
They only
Flash.
use it sometimes.
They only did a little bit for Wells. Like they're not really doing a lot of it. When they do, you're like, oh, that makes sense because we know nothing about these characters. We know a lot
Malcolm
about Oliver.
will make a lot of
Malcolm
sense.
will make a lot of sense,
Yeah.
but we don't really know a lot or anything really about him.
Or about his background.
Yeah, or about his background.
Or if
And-
he's telling the truth about anything.
Yeah, we don't. It's true though. So it'd be nice for the other characters. Like we already had a Diggle themed episode. It's okay.
While you were talking.
We kind of already know Roy's backstory. Like, we need it from Malcolm, and like maybe more Laurel.
Roy
Yeah,
needs
so
some
maybe
flashbacks.
Roy
Roy
needs
needs
a
some flashbacks. Yeah.
Roy needs flashback.
Oh,
Malcolm needs
it's
flashback.
hard
Thea
to-
too.
Thea
I'm
needs
sorry.
flashbacks.
Thea needs to be an archery something.
It's
Yeah,
hard
like,
to do that though, because
Yeah.
they're supposed to be the younger characters,
Yeah,
so
it is
giving them
very hard.
flashbacks would be difficult.
Well, Thea,
Yeah,
I know she's
she's younger
gonna
high
be in the flashback. She's just high school, so just put her in a
And there's schoolgirl
School,
uniform
yeah.
they did in season 1.
yeah, and they
Make her
actually
have
are
to
gonna
wear
put her in a flashback for some reason. Oliver's seeing her with Laurel on some steps of something, so I know they're gonna have a flashback with her for some reason. Maybe for Malcolm. So I know I sort of set pictures of that.
But yeah, like give the other
Roy.
characters flashback. Don't like Oliver's
the
had enough time to have his flashbacks. Step away from Oliver's flashbacks, please.
Yeah, I agree because they're just not. They're not doing anything. I understand they want to bring Katana into the recent stories, but I rather them just been new characters.
Yeah.
It would have been more interesting, honestly.
I would like the Laurel, Sarah flashback in this episode, especially.
Yeah.
That's
I think
coming
Canaries
soon.
are gonna get that.
Not
Yeah.
a flashback, but
Mhm.
I won't spoil in case people don't want
Secrets?
to know.
Well, what is it? Because usually, is it a big
Spoiler
big
warning.
Yeah.
Vertigo will be coming back, and
Yes.
similar to how Oliver hallucinated fighting himself in the premiere of this season, Laurel's gonna hallucinate fighting Sarah.
Which is gonna be great.
That's gonna
I'm
be
excited
great.
about that.
That'll be cool,
Um,
especially since Cassidy is so much taller than Katie.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
it's gonna be a badass scene. I'm very excited about Canaries in general.
Feelings.
So I'm gonna see if there's any questions. After that, we're gonna talk about what we think is gonna happen in the future, and then we're gonna close it out. So let's see if there's any questions. I gotta reload it. Let's see. There is not, but if you guys want to ask, well, usually I get comments. I didn't say anything about this being a live show, so we didn't plan it.
Spontaneous live show.
All right, so we're gonna talk about what we think is gonna happen in the next episode, and I guess the whole season 2. Next episode, I think it's gonna be more of the continuation of Laurel's journey. Oliver's gonna see that Laurel is being the Black Canary, and he's not gonna be happy about it. And hopefully,
Pissed.
yeah, he's gonna be very
so
pissed.
fucking pissed.
And hopefully, from the synopsis at least, it does seem like Roy's gonna try to confront Thea, which is great. And hopefully she learns a bit more, especially as Oliver comes in. I think that tension's gonna build up once again, what we saw in The Climb, and that's kind of what's been missing. I feel is that tension between Thea and what she's done. No one's talked about it really. So hopefully we get to see that in the upcoming episodes. But learning more about Malcolm is going to be important. And yeah, we're doing a live show. So, so yeah, that's kind of my comments on that. And I'm really excited for the fight scenes because it actually looks like, I think it was the Undertaking episode with Deathstroke.
Yeah.
I think it was it wasn't Undertaking. It was something else. I don't remember what the episode was called.
Streets of Fire.
Streets of Fire. I think it reminds me a lot of that. All these people coming together. So yeah, I'm excited for all that. Julius, thoughts on next episode or just next couple episodes?
My guess then for the next episode, especially the Arrow Gang's gonna pretty much fight and do their best. But I think Oliver's not gonna appear until like the very end, only because he's really far away and to actually get him there on time and stuff.
I think it'll be the next half. Just from the promo, it looks like he is going to be part of this big battle. So I think it'll be like half of the episode he won't be there, and then like the last half an hour he's going to be there.
Let's keep in mind last week we had Malcolm going from Starling City to the mountain and back in like less than a day. So
That's true.
True.
distance
Yeah,
isn't
but
an
Malcolm
issue.
Merlin has that plane. He has a private jet. Oliver's like 4
Oliver
now.
has Tatsu.
That's true. Julius, any other thoughts on that? Or
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
okay. Phil, thoughts on your verdict? Your upcoming episodes.
Well, next week is going to be a Merlin flashback.
Mhm.
I don't know if we'll be seeing Tommy. I know he's showing up in episode 14, but I think it would be interesting to get a bit of Tommy in the next episode. I know it's supposed to be what led to him after his wife's murder becoming the man he is today.
Which is going to be fun.
I think the next episode's either going to make Malcolm's presence
More
pay off.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't really stood out much to me personally this season. I thought he was a great villain at the end of season 1. And this season, I haven't been feeling him much. So I'm hoping the next episode will change.
They're
my
hiding
mind.
too much in a way.
Yeah.
I think they need to reveal a bit more.
Has he had any action scenes aside from training with Thea?
No.
No, really, and I think that's also. I think because they're trying to hide him and say, "Oh, he's going to be important later" or whatever. But I do think he needs to do something.
He should suit up too. I don't think we've
Yeah.
actually seen him in costume.
I think we did see him costume a couple of times, but not a lot.
I don't think we've seen him in
It's not
combat and in
actively in the
costume,
costume.
I think
except
it
with
was
Nissa.
Nissa was the only time. Like I remember saving Thea from being upside down. He was there.
If I recall, I remember John Bowerman saying in an interview that they were considering giving him a new costume.
Mhm.
So if they were going to do that, maybe next episode would be a good point.
Yeah.
As for season whole predictions, I do think Laurel will get the canary cry towards the end. I think it's possible she won't, but that's my prediction and my hope. And I think by the end of this season, we're going to find Thea. Thea's my favorite, so I have to talk about her.
Yes, we have
We're
to.
going to find her in a place where she's not with anyone. I think that they're going to go the Mia Dearden route and have her be on the streets, maybe as a prostitute.
Who knows? We're
Maybe
still.
HIV.
I really want that to happen in this show. I really, and this is total seriousness, just to be more like Mia Dearden. And honestly, this that kind of more protecting her in a way, because if she does have HIV, like they would want to protect her even more. I think it'd be very interesting if they went that route. But it'd be interesting to see her on her own.
You think they cut off Roy's arm? I remember you mentioning that before.
I hope so. I do. I don't know if it's going to happen, especially not this season. But I do agree with the Thea thing. I think Thea, honestly, she's going to see, all right, I trust, the whole trust thing is like, all right, well, Malcolm kind of failed me. It's like, oh, I trust my brother. But at this point, it's not about trust. I just need to find myself. It's like I keep kind of leaning on everybody. Let me just be my own person. I think that's going to be her own journey. And that's going to make her a strong person. But
And then she gets AIDS.
then she gets AIDS somehow. But again, it's just a comic book. I want it to happen. How do you think it's going to happen? If it does happen, I don't know.
I do think that if they go that route, she'll end up kind of alone after she finds out what she did to Sarah at the end, and she'll maybe even leave Starling or Star or whatever we're calling the city and be a prostitute. I think that
I think the thing is with Mia was like a runaway. So she was young enough, like in that age that she was a runaway and she can't get her own house type thing. So I
Okay,
don't
fair
know.
enough.
Thea, like, wouldn't she get her own house? She wouldn't be
fair
like,
enough. They don't really have any resources right now.
yeah.
Is the only thing,
Oh yeah, Malcolm would cut her off. So like, where is
and she already lost the Queen money, which
Yeah.
I wonder if they will be getting back.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see where Thea goes, and it'd be interesting if they went that route. But again, they would have to make it reasonable for this universe. As comic book fans, we want to see happen, but as non-comic book fans, you probably say, "Oh wait, where did that come from?" So hopefully, she becomes more recognizable as Mia, because they've obviously made a lot of comments about it. So yeah, I'm gonna see if there's any questions. If there's not,
Wait.
Mhm.
When Oliver comes back, consuming like Laurel, I've been dead for like 3 days, and now you're fucking back and there. Like I just see him.
what happened? Well,
What the hell happened? It's like I need to have him comment on that because she wasn't before.
The way
I think
everyone
they will.
accepted her so quickly, I think that's just meant to
It's
go
meant to be.
against what Oliver is going
Yeah,
to say.
He's got to. What was that? No.
So we do have some questions here. I'm gonna read them up. All right.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Akimbo TM. They just released some images for a future episode of a wedding. Who do you think it's for?
Did
oh, they-
Lila-
Oh yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Dig and Lila. That's
Yeah, that'd be the most sense. Most of them.
yeah.
make
She hasn't
sense.
been in an episode like forever. So
Interesting question. Where do you think
Yeah.
they'll go with Diggle?
Diggle, I think he's gonna die one of these
I hope he
days.
doesn't die.
I think they were planning to put him in the Suicide Squad show before that idea got scrapped.
yeah. I mean, I don't like the Suicide Squad episodes in general, so.
Yeah, they probably shot him that if they had it.
Yeah, I love Diggle. Don't get me wrong, but I just think out of all the characters, besides Lila and Quentin, he's kind of like the most expendable. But at the same time, like a lot of people like him, so it'd be like a death that would matter.
I think if we're going to lose someone first, it would be Quentin.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because Diggle,
He's really like
Quentin
Diggle,
would
they can-
further Laurel's arc. And
yeah, and Diggle really has those shining moments, like the speech about being Oliver's bodyguard.
Oh, great speech. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, there's another question. It's from DCU Maniac 999. Do you think we will see Katana join the team or help the team? And also, do you think it's messed up that they are making Laurel fake as Sarah? Or do you guys like it? Nice live show, guys. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Those are the questions we have, so that's gonna be the last question.
Okay, so we're gonna answer that question, which was Laurel and also Katana. Katana, I don't know. I really don't. I think she doesn't even fit in this show, honestly. So I think it's kind of weird that she's even in it. So that's my answer to that.
she dies.
Maybe-
I don't care. Like it's just.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's just an added-in character where it's supposed to show Oliver out of the island and in Hong Kong, but I don't care.
I agree.
it'd be like, oh wow, that's shocking you did it, because I thought she'd be dead by now. It's they bring her in. I don't
It's
know.
weird.
I'd rather it be her husband, who's now a villain with fucking DJ.
I just don't think they fit. I think the cast is way too big right now.
Yeah.
Like they
Kill some
again,
people off,
they
man.
have all these characters they need to do something with. Why are you
Don't-
bringing in Katana?
Don't be True Blood and have every character get a punch. Just kill off some fucking people, damn it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Katana
find-
might be Katana. Well, yeah, there's two of them. I don't know. We'll see. Julius, thoughts on Katana?
I think she pretty much fulfilled her purpose with healing Oliver, and
Yeah,
now that
which-
she's done that,
Randomly.
what else?
Randomly did that. Yeah, I agree.
Ex Machina.
We'll see what happens with that. Phil?
I'm a bit more of the unpopular opinion. I kind of like Katana as both a comic character, and I've kind of liked her presence in the show. I think she has a bit of a sass to her. Sass isn't the word I want, but she has personality that shines through, and she gets a lot of hate because of the way she looks. But I think she's pretty,
Big
and
forehead.
she does have a big forehead. I think it works. Do I think she would join Team Arrow? I don't, just because we already have a very crowded team.
If Thea joins, it'd be too crowded. I think
Yeah.
she will join.
And if
one of
someone
these
else
days.
were to join, I don't think it would be Katana. Like Green Arrow himself has other characters who might join. Like Connor might come someday, Oliver's son, or a lot of people are hoping Artemis will come in someday. I think that's a bit more of a long shot,
Yeah.
but I would love it. I love doing
Chester.
justice.
Cheshire one of these days, but then people are saying Thea's Cheshire. But who
I don't
knows?
think they're
I
gonna
don't
go
think
that
so
route.
either. I
Chester's
think her
too
name's
cool.
Dearden.
Chester's too cool as her own character to be absorbed by Thea.
Yeah.
I lost track of the question for a minute.
Katana.
I'm a little afraid that Katana will fall into that category of just bearing the name of a character.
China White.
Not exactly what I mean, but like that too is another fear. I meant more like Firefly in the first season, or Constantine
yeah.
Draken, whatever you pronounce it. How they bear the names of the character, but they don't really have anything else to do with them. So maybe someday, if Tatsu actually suits up and becomes a hero of some sort,
Yeah.
she might have another role. But I don't think she'll ever join the team or really be a part of this show in more than a recurring capacity.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think there's room enough for that. The last question was about Laurel. Do you think it's stupid that she's faking to be Sarah? I thought that was the strongest part of this episode, was her being Sarah. It just shows that her relationship with Sarah is really weird. I mean, just going back to that one scene we always talk about, her throwing a wine bottle at Sarah. It's just that she's kind of always jealous of Sarah in a way. And I think that in this strange way, she's kind of jealous of Sarah being dead and she's just jealous in a way. But at the same time, she's trying to honor her. I think she has very mixed feelings of Sarah. So yeah, I don't think the thing is with her, I mean, yes, they had a great relationship when she did die, but maybe she just wanted more out of that relationship. They didn't have the best sister relationship always, so I would say she's very confused with it. And that's why I'm really intrigued to see how she reacts to Thea being the one to kill Sarah. She has a really close relationship with Thea also, so I'm interested in that.
I wish we saw more of that, because when they are together, it's interesting. You can tell there's a history there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like she has a relationship with Thea that she would have had with Sarah if
Yeah.
she actually let Sarah in, but because the whole eventual Sarah slept with Oliver, well, her and Laurel, they were together, and they have a very awkward relationship between two smart women that went two totally different paths in their lives. And which one's Sarah's older? Or
No,
Laurel's older?
which makes
Which
sense.
makes it even worse, though, because she's the older sister, and then you have Sarah being the vigilante, and
They didn't have a big connection.
Yeah, they had no connection.
They
They tried.
almost did. Like when she died, they had this. They were starting to have that connection, and then she lost her.
they always had a messed up sisterly things. I mean, we didn't really see them as kids. We saw them older when they were both dealing with boys in that drama. We never got young Sarah and Laurel feelings. So we have Sarah, Laurel with Thea, kind of, but not really as pushed upon or used as it should
You could
be.
tell there was more, just from the episodes. From the Climb episode, you could tell that Thea and Laurel close.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's why I think Katie Cassidy has already said you're gonna be surprised with her reaction. And I think she's gonna know that it was Malcolm more than Thea, and she has a sisterly bond with Thea in a way. And maybe in a way, she kind of sees Sarah as Thea, and she's like, oh, well, I can't lose this sister. And then when Sin comes into it, I think it's gonna get very interesting. So
Sin.
she's gonna have a lot of interesting little sister connections, and it's really, I think that's why she's not gonna be upset with Thea as much, because she's gonna be like, it's Malcolm, and you know what, I kind of want to protect my little sister in a way.
Her dad's an ass.
Yeah. So what's your? I'm gonna go. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Sarah, little sister?
I like that. I like that a lot. I would make up for some of the crappier Laurel plots that, even though I didn't really like Laurel's season 2 plotline, the reason why I didn't like it, and I said in my other videos with Kat about it, is like it just struck a chord inside of you, or not just you, so like with me, it was like, ooh, alcoholism and like all of that. It not that I didn't like Laurel, it was just painful to watch her go through it.
Yeah.
Because you grow up hearing about those relatives that have that dark past. It's like, ooh, I didn't get to grow up watching it, but I'm watching it on TV. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that. But I like the Sin idea and I'm excited to see it go, because I do like Laurel's character, and I forgot how much I liked her, even when I didn't really like her all that much in season 1 and 2, just the love interest of Tommy and Oliver, and then like, she's always been that poor freaking character where she's been the love interest or the alcoholic, and now she's trying to be the Black Canary, and I'm excited to watch her grow. She's like Thea, they get pushed into the side. Even when they get their plot, you're like, really? That's what you're doing with them?
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to watch her flourish.
Yeah, and I hope they do. Yeah, flourish.
Yeah,
Flourish is,
yeah,
that's a word. Julius, thoughts on the whole little sister, Sarah, Laurel thing?
Oh yeah, to kind of build off what you said about like Sarah and Laurel kind of having a strained relationship,
Mhm.
I kind of see that becoming Black Canary kind of makes her feel more connected with Sarah, like in a way she couldn't have like years back due to their strained relationship and whatnot.
Yeah. And how do you think her reaction is going to be when she finds out Thea is the killer?
Honestly, I think that she's gonna get really pissed off at first, but I think she'll be more understanding about it because it is Merlin, so of course.
So Phil, thoughts?
I have a lot of directions I'm going to go with this, so
Yeah,
bear
go
with
ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
First, I think that it's pretty much definite that we're going to have a more forgiving reaction from Laurel. I mean, when she thought Roy was the one who killed Sarah, she didn't freak out on him. She just sort of didn't want to deal with it at the time. And she's even grown since then.
And that was more raw emotions back then too, because it was like kind of recent. Now it's just like, it's been a while.
So I don't think she'll try to take it out on Thea. I think that we're going to see more growth in Laurel as it goes on. Like already here, it became more about her being Black Canary than avenging Sarah. So I think that's something that we're going to see, her distancing herself from like just acting out of rage and jumping down people's throats.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the original question of whether I think it's wrong for Laurel to perpetuate this lie about Sarah. I do. I think they've dragged it out too long.
Yeah.
And if you had asked me 2 episodes ago or 1 episode ago, I would have said absolutely they should have just told him sooner. But for this episode, like I said earlier, we're finally getting something from it. Like we got those emotional scenes with Quentin, and that's what I've been waiting for. So as long as they're going to give those scenes without them getting stale, I'm okay with it for now. Laurel's not perfect. That's probably the most undisputed fact among fans.
But what's interesting about her, she's not perfect. Why does every character have to be perfect in people's eyes? I don't know.
Yeah, Oliver's not perfect. I like that she's not perfect.
Mhm.
And one thing is not being able to face this. So I do think that sooner rather than later, Quentin should find out the truth. But as of right now, I don't think that it's a mark on Laurel's character that she's keeping this secret. Maybe at the start, but now we're actually getting material from it.
Yeah.
Now it's more for Quentin's benefit than Laurel's benefit, that she couldn't face it. Now it's that she doesn't think he can face it. And I'm starting to believe that, even though I didn't at first.
Yeah, I don't think just after seeing that one scene, it's like, oh my God, Sarah, why can't, like, let's have Chinese food. It's like,
that was awesome.
yeah, so that would be interesting.
It really calls me back to when he first found out Sarah was alive back in season 2.
Yeah, it really does.
That was such
really
a powerful scene when she came out. And I don't know, I feel like maybe we'll get some sort of homage to that someday, that Laurel will come out. Like,
yeah,
I just-
at that Chinese restaurant, I would really like that, honestly, and just see like kind of the differences or like the different way she reacts to that.
I hope she doesn't tell Quentin he's dead at the Chinese restaurant.
What?
I hope Laurel doesn't tell Quentin.
Oh,
Aw.
yeah.
Dinah found out at a restaurant. I don't know if they want to check.
Yeah, but Dinah wants like
I don't know where
murder.
they're going with that.
She wants murder. But yeah, so those are our thoughts on all of that. We had a really long discussion, which I really like that we did this. I usually don't do the longer ones. I usually just like straight out give my thoughts. So it's really nice that we could utilize Google Plus and do this. So thanks guys for joining us for this extended after show Comic Uno episode. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna watch this after live. So thanks for watching. You guys want to say anything else, or you guys are all good?
Yeah, what you said.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
No,
This was fun. Good
It
discussion.
was. Yeah, very good discussion. It's fun. Go check out Mimi's channel, and that's the only channel that's here. So I can't recommend any other
Check her
channel.
out.
Go watch me solve over Constantine.
Yeah.
Make cigarettes.
All right, guys. So this is Comic Uno, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below. There's links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter, and don't forget to like the Facebook page, Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. This was Comic Uno.